Your code can tell you exactly what your software does. It can never tell you why. And 6 months from now, that gap is going to cost you an entire afternoon. And almost everyone coding with AI is walking straight into it. Here's the trap. You make a real call on your project. You pick this database over that one. You structure the whole app a certain way. You reject some library for a reason that felt obvious at the time. Then you move on. The code remembers what you built. It remembers nothing of why. So half a year later, you or your AI are staring at that exact decision with zero memory of the trade-off behind it. And you re-argue it from scratch, or worse, you rip it out and undo a call that was right because nobody wrote down the reason. I'm going to show you the documentation engine that closes that gap permanently, the exact setup I run on real production software, and you'll be able to start wiring it into your own project this afternoon. Hi, I'm Alex Brockway, and a year ago, I couldn't write a single line of code. Today, real companies run on software that I built, and on this channel, I show you exactly how it's done. So, let me start with the lie almost everybody believes about documentation, because it's why almost nobody has any. The lie is that documentation is a chore, a separate, boring task you do once, at the end, and never touch it again. And that's exactly why it fails. You write a doc on day one, the project moves, the doc doesn't, and within a week, it's describing software that no longer exists. Now you've got something worse than no documentation. Confident, official-looking documentation that's quietly wrong. That's not a system. That's a landmine with your own handwriting on it. The fix isn't writing better docs. The fix is making the docs something your AI maintains as part of doing the work. Not a task it does after, a task it does during. That one shift is the whole difference between documentation that rots and documentation that stays true on its own. And when the docs update in the flow of the work, it stops being a chore and becomes an engine. The name is the whole idea. An engine runs while the work runs. Two halves do the heavy lifting, and they do opposite jobs. The first half is living docs, the plan for the work you're doing right now. Update it as you go, so it always reflects what's actually true. The second half is the decision records, the frozen why behind every choice that mattered. One stays current, one stays put, you need both, because a plan tells you where you're going and a decision record tells you why you chose this road in the first place. Let me start with the second half, because it's the highest leverage habit in this entire setup. And if you adopt one idea from this whole video, adopt this one. It's called a decision record, an ADR, an architectural decision record. And it does the one job your code physically can't. It captures the why. Every ADR has the same dead simple shape. The context, what was going on, what problem you were solving, the decision, what you actually chose, the why, the trade-off, the reason you picked this over the alternatives, and the consequences. What this commits you to down the line. That's it. 4 parts off one shared template so everyone looks the same, which means you can write one in 2 minutes and read one in 10 seconds 6 months later and instantly be back inside your own head at the moment you decided. And here's why this is the highest leverage move you'll make. A decision you didn't write down is a decision you're going to relitigate. I promise you. The cost doesn't show up today. It shows up months later as, wait, why the hell did we do it this way? And then a whole afternoon vanishes, redeciding something you already decided correctly because the reasoning evaporated the second you moved on. 2 minutes to write the record, an afternoon to reconstruct it from nothing. The ADR is the cheapest insurance in the entire build. But here's the move that makes it actually work, and it's a hard rule. You do not write one of these for everything. This is where people screw it up. They get excited, start recording every routine bug fix and every tiny tweak, and within a month, the decision log is a swamp. 500 records, and the 4 that actually mattered are drowned in noise nobody will ever dig through. So you hold hard bar. You write a decision record when you choose between real approaches, when you add a tool or a library, or reject one, when you change something structural in how the app is put together. That's it. The test is simple. Is this a choice somebody would reasonably question later? If yes, it earns a record. If it's a routine fix, it doesn't. An ADR for every bug fix doesn't make the log more complete. It makes it useless. Signal, not noise. That bar is what keeps the whole log worth reading. Now the first half, the living docs, and the reason they decay is the same reason most docs die. Updating them is a separate step you'll always skip. You finish a phase of work, you're tired, you're 40 tasks deep on a Friday, and you go update the plan is the task that gets left on the floor every single time. So you don't make it a separate step. You make it part of finishing the work. You write a standing rule. When you complete a phase, you tick it off in the plan and record what changed. It's part of the job, not after it. Now the AI updates the living plan because updating it is built into finishing, not because it's feeling tidy that day. And I want to be straight about how this works. The docs do not update themselves on autopilot. There's no magic file watching your project and rewriting itself. The AI updates them because you built the upkeep into the work and wrote it down as a rule it reads every session. Not automation that runs without you, a rule that makes the maintenance unskippable. And to make any of this hold, you need a place for everything to live, split the right way. Here's the move most people miss. You split your docs folder by lifespan, not by topic. 4 homes. Active, the living plans for work in progress, updated as phases complete. Decisions, your numbered decision records, in order, each referenced forever by its number. Reference, the runbooks and registries, and integration guides that don't expire. The docs that are just true, and archive completed plans, kept for history, labeled out loud, do not follow. That last one is the move that quietly saves you. A finished plan that still looks current is one of the most dangerous documents in your whole project because your AI will read it, believe it's the live plan, and confidently march your code in a direction you abandoned 3 weeks ago. Stale docs aren't just useless, they're actively worse than no docs because no docs at least makes the AI ask. A wrong doc makes it certain. So when a plan is done, you don't leave it sitting there looking alive. You move it to archive and stamp do not follow on the top. You retire it loudly instead of leaving a loaded landmine in your context for future you to step on. And the last piece ties it together. You put a documentation structure table in your router, the main file your AI reads at the top of every session. Typically, that's Claude.md. That file names every one of those locations and says exactly what belongs where. Now, nothing is ever homeless. The AI also knows where to write the plan, where the records go, what's referenced and what's retired. Without that table, even a perfect folder structure falls apart because the AI doesn't know the map, so it guesses wrong, and your clean structure turns back into a junk drawer inside a week. The table is the map. So let me hand you the gotchas straight, because they're the difference between a documentation engine that protects you and a pile of docs that lie to you. 1. Stale docs are worse than no docs. Update in the flow of work and archive the dead ones loudly with do not follow on them. 2. Recording every routine fix turns your decision log into noise that buries the real calls. Hold the bar. Only choices someone would reasonably question later. 3. Docs the AI doesn't maintain go stale by next week. Guaranteed. Make the update part of the work, not a separate task you'll get to because you won't. And 4, a decision you didn't write down, you will re-litigate. Those 2 minutes are the cheapest insurance in the build. And here's the quiet bonus that surprises people. This costs you nothing extra to run. There's no separate documentation product to buy, no doc platform with a per-seat fee. It's plain text files in your own repo. And the AI maintaining them is Claude Code, built right in the Claude Code desktop app you already pay for. You launch it, it's already there, already reading your router, already able to write to every one of those folders. You're not paying a middleman at API rates to keep your own docs current. It's the cheapest path there is, text files plus the subscription you've already got. So that's the engine. Living plans the AI keeps current because the update is built into finishing the work. Decision records that freeze the why, so you never re-argue a settled call. A folder split by lifespan, so done can actually mean do not follow. And a table in your router, so nothing's ever homeless. And honestly, you've got enough right now to start this afternoon. Go write one decision record. Pick a real call you've already made, one you'd struggle to fully reconstruct the reasoning for right now, and write it down. The context, the decision, the why, the consequences. Writing ADR number 1 will teach you more than 10 more videos like this one, because the moment you write it, you'll feel exactly how much you were about to lose. So here's where to go from here. I run a school community and it's loaded. The link, it's in the description. Nearly 10 hours of free training, including foundations. The free course that takes you from never having written a line of code to actually building real software step by step. A free library of starter templates and prompts, and a brand new video every single week. All of it free. Come join us. Again, the link, they're in the description. We want to see you in there. And for those of you looking for a little bit more of an advanced experience, that's exactly what Premium is. Premium is the inner membership of that same community. It's where the done-for-you build packs live, like the exact documentation engine from this video, the folder split, the ADR template, the standing rule. You don't wire it by hand. You download the pack, point your AI at the start file, and it builds the whole engine into your own project. It even gets you to name one real decision, so you write ADR number 1 together. That, plus 15 more packs, every one a real piece of the production stack I run every day. It's another 10 hours of deeper courses. It's the full resource repository, every template, prompt, MCP, and skill. And it's weekly access to me to get your own build unstuck. What's free teaches you the pattern, Premium hands you the working machine, and puts you in the room with me. Everything you need to begin is free, completely free. Grab the build kit and the free course at ai.com. The link is in the description. Then come find us in the community. Head over there. We want to see you. And hit subscribe. I put a new video out like this every week. I'll see you in the next one.